morning. It's I think the first full day of spring. It was kind of cloudy and rainy yesterday, so I didn't get out. But since I was last here, you might be able to tell from the background, a lot's changed with the garden. I got some mulch down. Actually, I laid about 10 yards of mulch over a period of a week, which was a good workout for spring, but it makes the garden look so much better, you think? So I think I'm ready to go ahead and give you a little tour, and I think it's going to be the best tour so far this year, but there's so much more to see, and the plants are coming up, so I'm looking forward to the weeks ahead. But let me turn this camera around and show you guys what's going on. So this is our center bed. Now this tree is a red jade weeping crabapple. It's a beautiful flowering tree. I got like a couple of them on my property, but I'm still seeing some greenery. It's not brittle, but the rabbits ate clear around it. And I think there might be a tiny bit of bark left, but we'll see how that goes with that tree. If not, I'll have to remove it. But with the mulch, it makes it all the much better. A little view of the back area, and we'll get to that. Look at all those daylilies coming up over there. Quite a few. I do a little bit of trimming of my evergreens. My seeds are growing in there into nice little plants. Hopefully they'll be going to the veg plot in the next few weeks, some of them. The tulips, daylilies are coming up, daffodils are getting ready. But there's still so much more to do. Now this is an area that I've been busy working on, and you might have noted that I wanted to do some clouding from a garden I saw. Now my clouding isn't as precise as one of the gardens, but I'm taking a slow process with this because I'm getting some curvature, I'm getting some interest to it, but I want to do a little bit more detail on the bottom as we start next year. So I'm doing a multi-year process with that. Gazebo needs to be cleaned up a bit. I brought out some ferns that I actually had in my garage the entire winter. They're not doing too bad. I think I got a little bit of burn one night from some frost. I might have taken it out a day or two early, but it'll recover. This is my potting station, my compost. Kind of hide it. I got rows of Sharons on either side, but it's a nice place to do some work. You got to have a place in your garden to make a mess, and I got my mess here for sure. So it's not pretty, but it gives me enough space to do what I need to do. So this definitely is our Japanese kind of inspired part of the garden. With the maple there. I've got the peony tree. Wow, that's beautiful. And the flowers are upright. Sometimes you don't see that. And I got some snowdrops, coming up. But I do have some bluebells in here later on. That should be coming up. I transplanted these clematis on either side when I moved this arch earlier on. But definitely looks better than it did. Also beautiful, but the flowers tend to look down a bit. So we're in the process of transferring this. This is for my daughter when she was a baby, her bumblebee and the rooster plant holder and her watering cans that she got ideas from at Hershey Garden in Pennsylvania. So don't know how much the gardening bug will spread to her, but at that time she enjoyed it. So looking better, I think. Green. And of course, the daffodils are coming up over here. This gets a lot of sun until that beautiful American elm leaps out, our neighbor's tree. And then this area is very much shaded. But in early spring, it's nice to get the sun. More Japanese maples. Well, clematis starting. I put some daylilies along the entire border with my neighbor, built it up. It's a nice statue. I got an honor for my daughter. Kind of goes with her garden a little bit. Yeah, the bulbs are all starting to come up. These I kind of overwintered from last year. I haven't moved these. So they're dragon blood sedums, and they're coming back. Looking forward to the forsythia to bloom. So all the bulbs I planted out here, I put, I think, a couple hundred in this small new area. But they're coming up. There's a leaf I made from my elephant ear a couple years ago. Cynthia. So the mulch makes a big difference, you think? Japanese maple, hyacinths, a lot of daylilies, and tulips, and daffodils all around. Put some pansies in the pots. But mulch makes a big difference. Serbian spruces are doing well. Love those trees. Over here, I got to take the cover off my fountain pretty soon. Got to trim up my topiaries. Big difference from a few weeks ago. So spring is here and it's feeling like it. We got like 3.5 inches of rain a couple of days ago. It's been very dry, but it really gave the plants the moisture they needed. He came out a little bit further this year. They used to run up along here. He came out quite a bit. I think over a period of time, I don't expect I'm going to have hardly any grass left in this yard. But that's okay with me. Here's a new bed here. I want to put a lot of elephant ears in here, I think. Got to trim back the hollies and Japanese maple. But it should be a nice area. I put a new bed over here. A lot of cleaning up I've done last couple of weeks. Japanese maple, and you might be able to start hearing the sound of water. Got the pump going. Lots of butterfly bushes. I trim back, and honeysuckle. Clean this area up. Here's a weeping blue atlas cedar. Still have to move these hibiscus, perennial hibiscus, back there somewhere, I believe. There's seating areas. The fish are getting used to me again. After a cold winter, I've been feeding them. They like the movement of water. I like this area, especially in the morning to sit. More work to do, but you can get an idea of the amount of daylilies. I saw a collection. My daughter got that for me. I got that one from a National Trust garden in England. That's made from old oil barrels that they've recycled, as well as got rid of duck. Same thing, made from old oil barrels. Thought it was quite creative use of repurposing something that otherwise would just be thrown away. I used to have koi, but I'll tell you the truth. The koi just don't survive as well. I love them, but the cheaper I go with fish, like these were just feeder fish basically from the pet store, and they've just done really well, whereas my koi, I've had a number of them, just don't seem to do as well as goldfish. So I'm happy with having goldfish in my pond. The birds are loving this time of year. I don't know if you saw it, but it was a cardinal. They're setting up nests around here. Same thing with daffodils and tulips and the bird feeder. I feed my birds during the winter. And with the water in my garden, they seem to really appreciate and give me a lot of enjoyment back here. So if you don't have a bird feeder, I think it's worth it. Although I just use black sunflower seeds because the rest of the mixture, it just goes to seeds. The birds don't like it as much, and it just goes into the ground and starts growing. So the black seed, sunflower seed, I've not had much issues with sunflowers growing. So this is some sculpture my wife and I got for our anniversary one year in June. I think I'll get some lights on it for nighttime solar powered perhaps. So with 10 yards of mulch, I didn't have enough to go all the ways back there. I don't know, with the elephant ears going back there, the hibiscus I talked about, I might be able to get away with it. I'm not sure. This area is getting packed, but you can see, got the rabbits going. So I do spray, it's called Deer Be Gone. I use it, I'm going to start using it once a week along the perimeter. It rained a lot the last couple of days, so I haven't done it in about a week. I'm going to start using it every week to keep the rabbits out. I know the local arboretum uses it for their flower beds and it seems to work. Magnolia. Got to cut back some hydrangeas. Some more butterfly bushes need to be cut back. Hornbeam. There's one I'm not so sure of is going to survive. I planted these last year. This one's doing well. It's got some new growth. This one I'm not so sure. No, I think I'm going to need to return it. It's under warranty. But this used to be a tennis court back here. And they went ahead and took it out recently and put some grass, which just extends the view of my yard, don't you think? Sedum's coming up in pots. And there's some more daffodils I didn't notice opening up. I'm pretty much back where we started. Got tons of bluebells in here. I'm looking forward to seeing whether the bluebells in my garden do a lot this year. Japanese maples everywhere. That's the garden, guys. I think it'll be a couple more weeks before I record again, but there's a lot of growth, a lot of activity. The mulch looks better. It just feels like spring. I know some parts of the country got repeated nor'easters dumping many feet of snow. Sorry for that. Makes winter more difficult, knowing spring is around the corner, but also when all the snow's there. But it's starting to look nice. Still crisp. I think I'll skip the tour of the veg plot this week. I got more work to do, although I've done a lot of work back there. And the beds are looking better. I just need to do a little bit more tidying up and adding compost before I show you guys what I'm doing. I think I might start growing or planting some beets, kale, some lettuces, and putting my potatoes in this weekend. So, but yeah, it's going well. I'm very pleased. I'm glad spring is here. You guys have a good week. Bye.